Welcome to part two of the Brakecast. This is another week, another second part. We just have too many good discussions recently.
We've been
So,
Part
rolling.
two, Electric Boogaloo. Let's go, baby.
yeah, so I guess we kind of ended off on a discussion, and we're just going to go with my conspiracy theory, which I think is, I guess, maybe the least based if you're an internet user. I guess if there's like the iceberg of conspiracy theories, it's more towards the top, more of just kind of a general basic one. So in Mount Rushmore, behind Lincoln's head, there's actually a vault. And it was at first going to be designed for like a timeline of all the important events that happened from 1776 until 1906 when it was being built. But they kind of stopped building it. World War One happened, and then they were going again, and World War Two happened, and then they decided to make it like a vault for all of our most important documents, and it was going to be sealed off and everything like that. Let me pull up the article real quick to make sure I'm not misquoting anything. Um, yeah, so all work would be kind of stopped for World War Two, and then the Hall of Records. That's what it was called, and it's closed off to the public because it's supposed to explain the country's existence to future civilizations and future architects.
Hmm.
So it's meant to kind of explain the United States because we all know that every sort of civilization and slash dynasty slash empire has collapsed within a certain time frame or so, give or take. And obviously the United States has been going on for quite some time. So we never know what's going to happen in 100, 200 years. And so we have that for Mount Rushmore for when a new civilization comes, they can remember what the United States was all about.
Yeah.
But the conspiracy is that really what's behind the head? I
Mm.
mean, if that's what's behind the head, then I know it's sealed off so people don't maybe graffiti it or whatever, but is that really the reason why it's sealed off? Is there stuff
Hmm.
behind Lincoln's head? Remember, National Geographic with Nicolas Cage, they're out about Mount Rushmore.
Or National Treasure. Yeah.
Yeah, National
So,
Geographic's a magazine.
so Brandon, what do you think is behind that vault? Like, do you think that there's, I mean, I hate to say it, but ancient aliens behind the vault?
I mean, that'd probably be more in like the Area 51 because there's scientists and people that can actually keep tabs on them. I feel like aliens is something that need to be guarded way more, but there's definitely
Yeah.
got to be maybe some sort of technology, maybe older stuff that's like not really known.
Like what?
That could be like change that could change history, maybe.
Like the secret letters or something like
Yeah,
that.
like it could be like an
Oh,
archive of letters that they kind of keep back there. Because I don't think that it's just that. There's got to be other stuff because it's not really reachable for the average person either.
do you think it's like that secret vault, like that I think it's either the Pope or the Vatican.
Oh yeah, it's the
I
Vatican
think,
Vault.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
the Vatican,
Yeah.
like it's they're like secret, like, writings or whatever.
Okay,
Like, do
I
you think
think
that it's it for
not
like presidents or important people at the
could be.
time?
I don't think it's as extreme as the Vatican because the Vatican has been there for a long time, and there might even be things from like Jesus Christ in the Vatican. Like there's insane stuff down there.
Dude,
That's
I'd
Um,
love to
awesome.
just like, if I could ever like one day just get access to that, like that,
Yeah, but if you try to
like,
share it, if you the second you do, you'll be killed probably.
oh, for sure. But like, just to have the knowledge of that, like, information
The
that's there, like
That'd be
knowledge.
the
awesome.
knowledge, like, dude, I think it would be mind changing because you'd be reading stuff that like dates back like thousands of years, like that,
Yeah,
or not
you would know
thousands, but
you
like
would, yeah, I
hundreds.
mean you would know
Well,
things
thousands.
in
Yeah.
Oh
Jesus
yeah, I
times
guess.
with different civilizations like lost things. It's like the Library of Alexandria was burned down and that
Yeah.
we lost hundreds of years of advancement and history. Like we lost a lot of things. If that was not burned down, we could be more into the like future. We could have better stuff today. But the Library of Alexandria burnt. That's why a lot of the ancient history or during the time of the Library of Alexandria's existence is lost or kind of up to speculation slash archaeologist slash guessing because a lot of
When
older history
was that?
really is guesswork.
Yeah. I'm
Well,
not
like
sure what.
when did that get burned down?
Jake, do you want to look that up?
Yeah.
Because I saw something on like this like ancient technology thing on like Discovery that was like
Oh.
this weird thing where they were able to like completely map out the stars and it was like run by gears or something. I don't.
Oh.
You saw that,
Seems
Jake? Like that,
familiar.
dude. That thing was insane. They were found at like the bottom of the ocean, but they were able to use like X-rays and stuff to like figure out like, oh, this thing was like a moving mechanical thing that like figured out star patterns. And I'm like, you got to think of the crazy math people were
Yeah.
doing back then. Like, there's
Also,
yeah, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say the Library of Alexandria burned down in 48 BC.
So that was before the
Wow.
existence of Jesus Christ.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
48
is
BC. Yeah, that was
So
crazy.
that's
that is
we
insane.
lost technology and history. So again, with historians, a lot of it like is educated guesswork, especially for ancient times. We just have to kind of infer what they would use based on where they were at. Like Mesopotamia, like we have writings and stuff like that. But still, even some of it is just guesswork. We just know based on the city layout, like irrigation systems. So they obviously had like some sort of irrigation system if there's canals underneath places. That's a lot of history guesswork. And that kind of goes back to the Vatican. We have all that written stuff. And of course, the hall behind the Abraham Lincoln statue, which I really do think that they got to have some important stuff. I don't think the absolute most important stuff in the United States because it is kind of far from DC and you never know with
Yeah,
someone, but they have something in there. They got important stuff.
Yeah, like you can't. It just doesn't seem like too secure because I've been to Mount Rushmore before and it's not like, I mean, I don't think it'd be easy to like get on top of Mount Rushmore because you'd have to climb it and everything. But I think you could like, I think it'd be one of the easier things to get into if you're
Yeah,
like looking
but
to
yeah,
it's more of a
break
natural
into
deterrent.
something.
Like people won't try it because of just the how big it is, and most people
Oh
aren't
yeah,
experienced climbers like that.
no, I mean it's like it's pretty big. It's also like it's a big tourist attraction. So like if you were climbing on it, people would notice it real quickly. And just like you said, like you know, no one looks at that and goes like, I think I can climb that. Not a lot of people. Some people
Yeah,
probably do.
is it a national park? I could be
yeah. I think
wrong.
so.
So if it's a
Yes, I'm
national
pretty
park,
sure.
it's protected under the government, and they have like park rangers and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if a park ranger, let's say there's like, a team of people trying to break in,
Yeah, sure, but I'm just
Like a
saying that
park ranger's
there's
gonna
people
stop
there.
them. Park ranger might like, just sit there and go, "Hey, cut that out. Stop that."
They could at least
Uh,
call law enforcement, and I'm sure because it's federally protected, something could
They are
happen.
law enforcement, though.
Yeah, but I meant no. I meant like police and like people who could actually do something
Bro,
more realistically.
this is Break Vlog and anti park ranger
No,
podcast.
no, park rangers are great, but I'm saying
Cool.
something like that might be a national threat because of
Oh
what
No,
could
yeah.
be in there.
Oh
So they would
oh
have to
sure.
like if it's a national
Well,
threat,
national threat.
yeah, because there might be something
potentially.
in there.
Well, like, what if like we find out like some really, really dirty stuff about some like, very famous people, like very famous historical people that like completely change our perspective on things. But at the same time, like, you look back at like history and like even like the greatest like leaders of America have always been like pretty like kind of like dirty people and compared to like modern standards. Like they
Well,
have
everyone
they
has their dirty
yeah,
laundry.
everyone has dirty laundry, so it's like I don't know if it could be something that's like that's more their dirty laundry because like I think anymore people are gonna be like, yeah, so what, we knew they were kind of a terrible person, like they weren't, no one's completely good, they
Yeah.
just
I mean,
So here, I
compared
actually
to,
have a picture of
you
where
know,
the hall's at, so
oh,
everyone can go and see it. Let me share my screen. I'm just going to show it real quick. So this is where the hall is actually at, behind the Abraham Lincoln head.
oh,
oh
So there's the
yeah
hall there. And so what I saw when you scroll through here is where is it at? This is just that the guy who made it was also a part of the KKK or his association with it. So the guy who built this was
ah
also not a great person. So there's 12 panels, or hold on, so 16 porcelain panels made the text for the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the Declaration of Independence, biographies of the guy who made it, and 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore and why it was carved. And then it was put in a teakwood box. The box was placed in a titanium vault and put in the unfinished vault. The vault was then sealed with 1,200 pounds of granite inscribed on the capstone a quote by the man who built it.
hmm.
mm,
So I will stop the share there. So that's what's in there, but I still think that there's more stuff. Maybe it's not like government secrets or anything crazy, but maybe it's more of, hey, here's more stuff that describes their civilization, and some of it could be more top secret stuff.
Yeah, I can see it. But
What
that kind of reminds me of how like there's a satellite that we sent out like super deep into space, and it has like a carved plate on it that has like pretty much just describes
Yeah,
like human civilization and the
yeah, no,
history on it.
We've sent radio
yeah.
waves out too to try to contact.
But see,
Yeah.
that might be a terrible idea. Like, what if we just opened up an invitation to like potential invaders? Like, we have no idea what kind of like civilizations are really out there. Like, there could be ones
That's
that are
true.
like there to like help other civilizations like find peace and like grow their planet. Or, you could just have straight up conquerors that go like, well, we just want to expand our power and authority and like, like, oh, you guys have this interesting metal there that we know that can be really good and it's like super rare everywhere else except you guys have an abundance of it. Like, what if gold is like, you know, the rare thing? I mean, we don't know what other beings consider
Yeah. So
That's true.
extraordinarily well
if you've
rare.
seen if you've read or seen the anime Death Note, the apples were drugs for the Shinigamis, Ryuk.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like apples are a normal fruit to us, but to them it was like a drug, and they valued apples super high. And that's just an apple. You never know what other people, other civilizations might value. To us, like gold and money is valuable, but to someone else, for example, that an apple was what they valued.
Or plastic.
Yeah, the
They're like, we want your
microplastics.
plastic.
I mean, honestly, if they want to take all the plastic out of the oceans, I would not be upset.
Yeah.
Like, take it, bro.
Like, oh
We
dang,
don't-
you cleaned up our oceans, and now I don't have microplastics in my bloodstream. Which that's a
Yeah,
whole
dude,
nother
What,
can we can
what
get
if
into.
they only take it because we're like, oh darn, you
Yeah,
guys are
like
taking our plastics.
we finesse them. Like we act like plastic is like the most important thing. We're begging them,
Yeah.
and they take it, and then we're like, oh, you got us.
But yeah, if you guys show us the secret to unlimited free energy, then we'll give you our plastics.
Yeah. Oh
We'll give
no,
you our
you got
plastic
all the
recipe.
methane gas out of our air and all the greenhouse gases. You love that? Oh darn! I guess we're all gone. Now the Earth's not rapidly heating up.
Oh shoot, my summers aren't gonna be 110 degrees every
Yeah.
day.
Well, it probably still would be in Arizona, but
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
but the ice caps wouldn't be melting.
Oh darn, the ice caps aren't melting anymore. Shoot.
Yeah. Dang, our planet was fixed.
Hey, that just means more Titanics, man.
Dude, that means more COVIDs would come out because the government needs more chaos.
That's right.
That's the true reason why we're warming up the planet, so we can prevent less Titanics from happening.
Exactly.
See, we're doing it for a
trying to
good
protect them.
cause. Yeah, we're
Dude, you know how
protecting-
No,
many-
we're warming up the planet, and we're gonna get a big magnifying glass and just wipe out a country somehow. Like a bunch of bugs. Like just get rid of all the daddy long legs.
You know that actually.
ticks.
So, you ever heard of a Dyson sphere before?
Yes.
You saying that reminds me of the Simpsons movie when they put the big thing over Springfield and they trapped all the Springfield people in there.
Yeah,
And
I
the
know
only way
what
to
you're
get out was through
talking-
the sandbox.
But Jake, you said you know what a Dyson sphere is.
It sounds very familiar.
He doesn't know.
No,
So- So basically, what it is they like it's a theoretical concept where we take like a bunch of basically just mirrors, right, or glass, and like we aim, like we put it around the sun, and we basically
Oh yeah.
magnify the sunlight into a single point, and from there we can like extract like the energy like into like we'd have to develop like the battery packs for and the way to extract it, like be kind of
Yeah.
like solar panels, I guess, but like
On
more
steroids.
efficient.
And
But,
then
like,
on
that's-
gear.
That's what they consider like I don't know
Type
exactly.
3
It's a
civilization or something.
yeah,
that.
like type 3 civilization, the one that can like control their like use all the energy from their sun more efficiently. So I mean that would be, I mean, we'll never
Dude,
see that in our
Even
lifetime.
like 1% of the sun's energy could probably power up at least the United States.
No, I'd say the whole world.
Yeah, I
Sure,
wanted
the
to
whole
be
world.
very, very conservative with my estimate.
Oh, dude. I mean, you think about how big the sun is. I mean, like
It's how powerful.
well, I mean, like with how big it is, it releases a bunch of energy. We're literally like a bed bug on
Dude,
it.
that's like Superman
Because
when he goes to the sun gets more powerful, and then when he like was in the sun for I can't remember how long, and he became like Superman like Prime or whatever it was when he was all gold because he was
oh
just in the sun
yeah,
for a long time.
he comes out. He's like, I'm all shiny.
Yeah, but
Superman
does
came
anyone
out
kind
as
of
Reese.
have any
I was
more
looking up
thoughts
stuff
on anything?
about
Yeah, I mean, if
this.
we could go through another one, I just didn't know if we wanted to.
Oh no, not another one. I was just looking up like stats
Stats
about
for what?
the sun.
Give me the stats, Jake. Do I draft him in round 1 or 2?
Yeah, the fancy draft. I'll take Sun, number one
Hey,
overall.
Okay,
speaking of fantasy, I won my fantasy hockey league.
You're in fantasy
congrats.
hockey?
Yeah, I did fantasy hockey. I've got some buddies that love hockey, and I don't really watch it all that much. And but like I knew just enough about it from my previous roommate who loves hockey. I would just ask him questions and I just pick up players based on what he said. But yeah, I won somehow, and it was
That's
I got like
sick.
$80 from it.
As long as you
Congrats.
don't lose fantasy, your life will be fine.
I've won 2 fantasy leagues so far, man. I've won football and hockey. I'm going for I almost won a fantasy basketball league until the commissioner cut it off and gave everybody back their money and said, "We're not doing this anymore."
Hmm.
So
All right. Well, what we were talking about with the sun, so the Earth consumes about 23,000 terawatt hours of energy in a year, and the sun produces uh, 38,000 septillion watts per second. So that's 3.8 times 10 to the 26th watts per
So
second.
literally in less
oh
than a second,
my
it could power the Earth for a
god!
year.
Yeah,
It's
probably
Wait,
incredible.
for
that's more
hundreds of years.
hundreds of years in one
Yeah.
second.
That's
Can you imagine
crazy.
we have like more efficient solar panels that like can collect it. Like if we're able to collect all that energy at once,
We
we'll
would,
just
dude. We would
be
never need
good.
gasoline or like fossil fuels ever again.
Yeah,
I don't know if we'd
unless
even
like
have, we wouldn't be able to store that much energy.
mm-mm. Well,
Well, I'm
here's the
assuming if we can collect it and stuff like that, we'd probably find a way to store it if we're that like far
Oh,
like
yeah.
advanced.
well, you want to know the problem with like all those technologies, right? Is like what if someone develops a super efficient EMP? You know, takes out all electricity.
Or
Boom.
weaponizes the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
I,
you ever heard of the I think it's called just the javelin?
mm-hmm.
Basically just
The
like a
kinetic.
giant rod. Yeah, it uses
Yeah.
kinetic energy, drops down, it acts like a nuke, just none of this like bad side effects. And it's actually legal to put it in space because like the way that all the countries came together when they were deciding like what if we can put weapons in space, they were like, no, we shouldn't. You can't put like giant death beams, you can't have like nuclear weapons in space. But they never said anything about a giant metal rod that you can just stick onto a satellite and just drop it down somewhere. Like that's scary. Like
Wasn't that
that's a very like if we're able to send a man to the moon and we're able
Well,
to
okay. Did we send him to the moon?
oh, that's another
Conspiracy.
conspiracy. That's true. Did we?
Did we?
I remember our middle school science teacher. Do you remember this, Brandon? He showed us a video of the guy talking about how the moon landing was fake and everything. Do you remember that?
No.
You don't remember that, dude? I vividly remember that. Like he showed us this whole thing. It was like a whole class about like this guy talking about how the moon landing was fake, and at the end of it, the science teacher comes up. I don't want to name drop, but Mr. Klimke. Remember him?
Bro,
You just said I don't want to name drop. Then
you
you
just
name
name
drop.
dropped.
Well, you could bleep that
Bro,
out if you want
we
to.
don't like edit anything.
Oh
I think
well,
I trimmed a clip
okay.
once.
no one's gonna really know who he is though. But like anyway, I remember he gets up in front of the class and says, "Do not make fun of anybody that believes the moon landing was fake." I was like, that's gonna be kind of hard.
Oh my goodness, that's
No, it's
I'm
not
not
as
going to
bad
name
as the
drop, and then proceeds to
flat
drop his
earthers,
name.
though.
Well, I just didn't like. I didn't know if you like were gonna warn me, and since you didn't say like, yeah, don't name drop.
You
No,
said you weren't
just-
going to name drop.
I said I don't want to name.
Yeah,
drop,
so
like,
you don't want to, then don't.
well,
It's been so
too
long
late
of the
now.
podcast, you forgot podcast etiquette. Podicate.
Well, too late now. We can.
Yeah,
blur it out.
it doesn't really matter. It was just really funny. I think anyone have any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Don't be a flat earther.
Hey,
And
hold on
if
now.
the Flat Earth Society
is-
comes
Oh, come on.
after, we're gonna ignore you.
Yeah, no, dude. I love like. Have you seen the video of this flat earther trying to prove that the Earth is round or that the Earth was flat, but he ended up proving that the Earth was
Yeah.
round.
I watched that documentary on Netflix.
He's like-
That I don't know how that theory came. We just have too much information on that. Like we have way too much. Like to
People
to
have too
prove
much
it's
free
round.
time.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's yeah.
Yeah. So wrapping this up, I guess the one final message is don't always believe what you see, and always kind of take a look at things, and you never know what's out there. So definitely research some of this stuff, and just kind of explore it. Take it with a grain of salt both ways. What the news is telling you, and also what conspiracies or whatever are telling you. Just kind of base your own conclusions
Yeah.
on it.
Remember, the truth is normally always somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Between conspiracy and what the news gets you with.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know?
So this has been another episode of Brakecast, another 2-part episode. Probably,
Oh, yeah.
I think there's gonna be more of those these days. We've been having
Probably.
good
We're-
discussions.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
yeah.
getting better at that.
Yeah, Sam, thanks for coming on. We had a great time discussing theories with you and kind of everything else that came along with them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
No, thanks for having me on, man. I always love it, man.
Yeah,
Can't
so
wait for next time.
exactly. This has been your co-host Brandon,
I'm Jake.
and this has been another episode of the Brakecast, and we'll see you next week.